Why shouldn't I worship the one who created me and to whom you will return? Should I take beside him gods whose intercession would not benefit me in the slightest if the Most Kind wanted to harm me? Nor would they be able to save me. Obviously, I would be misguided. I chose to believe in your Lord, so please listen to me. Enter the garden of paradise, he was told. If only my people knew, he said, the extent to which my Lord has forgiven me and placed me among those worthy of honor. Thereafter, we didn't send an army against his people from the sky. We don't do that. Just one blast, that's all. And there they were, lying dead. What a shame. Whenever a messenger came to a community, they mocked him. Haven't they considered how many generations we destroyed before them? None will come back to them. Yet they will all be presented before us. A proof of the resurrection for them is the dead earth, how we give it life and make it produce cereals which they eat. And here and there we have grown palm groves and vineyards and caused freshwater springs to flow, so they might eat its fruit even though they had no hand in making it. Won't they be grateful? Glory be to him who created every variety of living thing from the earth, humans themselves and others which they still don't know. Another sign for them is the night, from which we gradually peel the daylight away, and there they are in pitch darkness. The sun travels in its orbit that is precisely determined by the Almighty, the knower. Similarly the moon, we determined its phases from full moon to crescent, that is slim as a dried date stalk. The sun can't overtake the moon, nor the night outpace the day. All are floating in their fixed orbits. Another sign for them is the story of their forefathers, who we carried in the heavily laden ship, and we created for them similar modes of transport which they ride. If we wanted, we could drown them, and they will have no help, nor will they be saved, unless, that is, out of our kindness and as a brief respite. When they are told, be careful about your past and future deeds to deserve kind treatment, they turn away from every sign of their Lord that comes to them. When they are told, spend what Allah has provided you, the disbelievers say to the believers, why should we feed someone who Allah could have fed if He wanted? You are clearly misguided. And they say, when will this promise be fulfilled if you are telling the truth? What they are waiting for is a blast that will seize them while they argue among themselves. Then they won't be able to make a will or return to their families. The trumpet will be blown, and they will emerge from their graves, rushing to their Lord, saying, woe to us! Who woke us up from our graves? They will be told, this is what the Most Kind promised, and the messengers kept reminding you about. It will be a single blast, and quickly they will be made to stand before us. On this day, no one will be wronged in the least, and you will only be repaid for what you did. Today the companions of paradise will enjoy themselves, sitting beside their spouses on comfortable sofas, relaxing in the shade, surrounded with fruit they like, and the greeting, peace, spoken by the caring Lord. The evildoers will be told, step aside today. Didn't I command you, children of Adam, not to obey Satan? He is your open enemy, and worship me. This is the straight path, but Satan led masses of you astray. Didn't you think? This is hell about which you were warned. Burn in it today because of your disbelief. Today we shall seal their mouths, their hands will speak, and their feet will bear witness to what they did. If we wanted, we could have blinded their eyes so they wouldn't see anymore. But then how could they see as they struggled along the path? If we wanted, we could have paralyzed them so they wouldn't move to and fro. Anyone we allow to age, we reduce them in size bit by bit. Will you not reflect? We didn't teach the messenger poetry. It isn't appropriate for him. The Quran is a reminder and a clear recitation, so he can warn anyone who is alive and to confirm the sentence against the disbelievers. Haven't they considered how we created their livestock made by our hands, and how we tamed animals to give in to them? So they ride some and eat some of them, and they derive other benefits from them, like milk to drink. Won't they be grateful? Yet they take other gods beside Allah, hoping to be helped by them. But they are incapable of helping them, even if they were standing to attention for them like an army. So don't let what they say sadden you. We know what they conceal and what they reveal. Haven't humans considered how we created them from a drop of semen? And so they openly argue against us. They make up comparisons about us, whilst forgetting their own creation, saying, "Who will give life to these bones when they have turned into dust?" Say, "The one who produced them originally will bring them back to life, and he has full knowledge of every creature. And who, for your benefit, placed the energy for fire and green trees from which you get fuel? Isn't the creator of the heavens and the earth capable of recreating the like of these quarrelsome humans? Of course, he is the creator, the knower. When he wants to do something, his command is, be, and it is. Glory to him who controls everything. You shall be returned to him." Surat As-Saffat, arranged in rows. In the name of Allah, the kind, the caring. By the angels, arranged in rows, who stop people from evil, and by those who recite the word that your Lord is one. Lord of the heavens and the earth, and what is between them, the Lord of the easts. We have decorated the lower sky with stars and protected it from every disobedient devil. They cannot eavesdrop on the higher assembly of angels. They will be attacked from all sides and driven out. Theirs is an everlasting punishment. The snatcher of information is chased by a fiery comet. Ask, are they more difficult to create than the rest of the creation? We created them from a sticky clay. Are you surprised they mock? If they are reminded, they take no notice. When they see a sign, they poke fun at it, saying, "This is magic. When we are dead and become dust and bones, will we be raised to life with our forefathers?" Say, "Yes, and you will be despised." It will be a single blast as they look on, terrified. With regret, they will say, "This is Judgment Day, indeed the day of decision that you denied." The angels will be ordered, "Gather the wicked people, including their spouses and whatever they worship beside Allah, and lead them on the path to the blazing fire. Stop them from questioning, 'Why are you not helping each other today?' Nay, today is the day that they submit fully. They will confront each other, quarreling. 'You overpowered us,' they will reply. 'No, you didn't want to be believers. We had no power over you. You were rebellious anyway. Our Lord's judgment against us is fair. We'll taste the punishment. We misguided you since we were misguided.' That day they will share the punishment. That's our way of dealing with sinners. The arrogant people, when they were asked to say, 'There is no God but Allah,' said, 'Should we give up our gods for the sake of a mad poet?' Nay, he came with the truth and confirmed the previous prophets. Now taste the painful punishment. You'll be repaid fully for what you did. The sincere servants of Allah will have plenty of provisions. Fruits they were familiar with, they shall be honored in gardens of delight, sitting on comfortable sofas, facing each other. They shall be served drinks in cups filled from a flowing fountain, white and delicious for the drinkers. This wine won't cause headache or confusion. Their spouses with modest gaze and lovely eyes will be with them, like precious eggs, well preserved. They will turn to one another asking questions. One of them will ask, "I had a friend who would ask me, 'Do you really believe when we are dead and turn to dust and bones, we shall be brought back for judgment?' He will say, 'Would you like to see him?' So when he looked down, he saw him in the middle of the blazing fire. He said, 'Allah forbid, you nearly brought me to ruins. Hadn't it been for the gift of my Lord, I would have been in hell too.' Aren't we to die except for our first death? Shall we never suffer? This is a real victory. Everyone should work for this. Is this better hospitality or the tree of Zaqqum? We made this to chastise the wicked. It is a tree that grows in the middle of hell. Its fruit is like the heads of Satan. They will eat from it to fill their bellies, then drink boiling water. Their home is hell. They found their forefathers misguided and thoughtlessly followed in their footsteps. Previously, most of them were misguided. We sent many warners to them. Look, what the fate of those who were warned, only the sincere servants of Allah were saved. Remember when Nuh prayed to us? So we responded graciously and saved him and his followers from a terrible suffering. We made his offspring continue in the world, and we kept his praise in the future generations. Peace be upon Nuh of all people. This is how we reward the righteous. He was our faithful servant. The others we drowned. Ibrahim was from the same group. He turned to his Lord with a heart free of evil. He asked his father and people, "What do you worship? Do you take false gods beside Allah? What do you think about the Lord of the worlds?" He looked at the stars and said, "I'm sick." So people turned away and left him alone. So he went to the temple full of idols and spoke with the idols. "Don't you eat? Why don't you speak?" He turned on them, striking them with full force. His people came to him hurriedly. He said to them, "Why do you worship something you shape with your hands? Allah created you and all you do." They decided, "Let's make a pile of wood and throw him into a blazing fire." They plotted against him, but we ruined their plot. He said, "I'm going to my Lord. He will guide me. Lord, give me a pious son." So we gave good news of a son with strong character. When he was old enough to work with him, one day he told him, "My son, I saw in a dream I slaughtered you. Tell me what you think." He replied, "Father, do as you were told. You'll find me patient, Allah willing." When both submitted and Ibrahim laid him face down, we called out, "Ibrahim, you have fulfilled the dream. This is how we reward the righteous." It was a tremendous test of faith. We saved Ismail in exchange for a slaughtered ram and left his tribute among future generations. Peace be on Ibrahim. That's how we reward the righteous. He was our faithful servant. We later gave him good news of Ishaq, a righteous prophet. We blessed him and Ishaq. Some of their children were righteous, others wrongdoers. We favored Musa and Harun too. We rescued them and their people from a dreadful suffering and helped them to become the winners. We gave them the book that explained clearly. We guided them on the straight path and left their praise among the future generations. Peace be on Musa and Harun. That's how we reward the righteous, our faithful servants. Ilyas was also from the messengers. He said to his people, "Won't you believe? How can you worship Baal and turn your back on the best creator? Isn't Allah your Lord and Lord of your forefathers?" But they denied and will be brought before us, except for the devout servants of Allah. We left his praise among the later generations. Peace be on Ilyas. That's how we reward the righteous, our faithful servants. Similarly, Lut was our messenger. We saved him and all his followers, except the old lady who remained behind. Then we destroyed all others. Quraysh, you pass through their ruins in broad daylight and sometimes at night. Don't you understand? Yunus was also from the messengers. When he fled on board the heavily loaded ship, they cast lots. He was the loser, thrown overboard. A whale swallowed him while he was blaming himself. Had he not been among those who glorify Allah, he would have stayed in its belly till the day of resurrection. Eventually, we flung him out, sick, onto an empty shore. We caused a gourd tree to grow over to shade him and sent him back to 100,000 or more people. They believed, so we allowed them to enjoy their lives fully. So ask the disbelievers, you assigned daughters for your Lord and sons for yourself. Were you witness when we created the angels? Beware. This is another of their concocted lies. They say, Allah has begotten. They are liars. Did He choose daughters over sons? What has come over you that you judge in this way? Do you not pay attention? Or do you have evidence? Bring your book if you are truthful. They declared a relationship between Him and the jinn know that they will be brought before Him. Glory be to Allah. He is far above what they imagine. The true servants of Allah don't do such things. Neither you nor what you worship can tempt anyone away from Allah except him who will burn in the blazing fire. The angels will say, each one of us has a role. We are organized in ranks and we glorify Allah. The disbelievers used to say, if we had the scriptures like the past people, we would have been like the devout servants of Allah. So they disbelieved the Quran. Soon they will know. Our promise to the messengers, our servants, was fulfilled. They were helped and our armies were the winners. So leave them for a while. Watch them. They will see the reality soon. Do they want our punishment to come sooner? When it comes into their courtyards, it will be a terrible morning for those pre-warned. Leave them for a while and watch. Soon they will see the reality. Glory be to your Lord, Lord of might and power, far above their claims, and peace be on the messengers. And all praises are for Allah, Lord of the worlds. Surat Swad, the letter Swad. In the name of Allah, the kind, the caring. Swad, by the Quran full of reminders. The disbelievers are haughty and hostile. How many generations we destroyed before them? They all cried out for help, but there was no time to escape. They are surprised that a warner came from them. They say, this is a fraudulent magician. He's turned all the gods into one god. How strange. Their leaders hastily set out to tell people, walk away and stick to your gods. That's what you must do. We have not heard of this in any religion of recent times. This is a fabrication. Did this reminder have to be sent down to him of all people? So, they doubt my reminder. Then wait till they taste my punishment. Do they hold the keys to the coffers of your Lord's compassion, the Almighty, the Giver? Or do they have control over the heavens, the earth, and whatever lies in between? If so, then let them ascend to the heavens. The armies of the confederates that oppose you will be defeated. Before them, the people of Nu, Ad, and Pharaoh of the columns, they all denied their prophets, as did Thamud, the people of Lut, and the forest dwellers. Those were the confederates of their day. They denied the messengers, and so my punishment was justified. And the Makkans can expect a single blast that will not be postponed. Your opponents said, our Lord, give us our share in advance of either heaven or hell before the day of reckoning. Put up with what they say and remember our servant, the strong-handed Dawood. He was devout. We made the mountains echo with him, glorifying us in the evening and the morning, and the birds in flocks, each of them obedient to Dawood. And so we strengthened his rule, and we gave him wisdom and the ability to reach decisive judgments. Has the report of the parties to a dispute reached you? They climbed over the wall of his private chamber and came to Dawood. He was frightened to see them. They said, don't be afraid. We have a dispute. One party has wronged the other. So judge between us without deviating and guide us towards a fair solution. One of them said, this brother of mine has 99 sheep, whereas I have one. He demands, let me look after it, and he's putting pressure on me. Dawood said, he is wrong to ask for your sheep. Business partners often take advantage one of the other, except the believers who are righteous, but they are few. When Dawood realized we had tested him, he begged forgiveness of his Lord, fell in prostration and repented. So we forgave him. Dawood will enjoy closeness to us in the most beautiful of homecomings. Dawood we appointed you our vice-regent on earth. So judge fairly between people and don't act on a whim that may lead you astray from the path of Allah. Those who wander away from the path of Allah will have a severe punishment for neglecting the day of reckoning. We didn't create the heavens and the earth and what lies between them purposeless, though the disbelievers may think so. Woe to those who disbelieve, they will suffer in the fire. Should we put those who believe and do righteous deeds on a par with those who wreak havoc in the land, or those who are mindful of Allah on a par with outright sinners? This is a book that we sent down to you, a blessed book, so people might think about its message and the intelligent may pay attention. We granted Dawood a son, Suleiman. What an excellent servant, truly devout. One evening, when the purebred horses were paraded before Suleiman, he said, "My love of fine things increased my Lord's remembrance." He watched them till they disappeared out of sight. "Bring the horses back to me." He patted their legs and necks. We tested Suleiman with an illness, so he became thin as a skeleton, sat on his throne, then turned devoutly to us. He said, "My Lord, forgive me and grant me a kingdom the like of which no one after me will ever see. Only you are the giver." So we made the winds compliant to him, blowing gently at his command wherever he wanted them to go. And demons from the jinn, their builders, divers, and others bound in chains. Allah said, "This is our gift for you to give it to others or withhold it as you like." Suleiman will enjoy closeness to us in the most beautiful of homecomings. Mention our servant Ayub. He cried out to his Lord, "Satan has wreaked sorrow and torment on me." Allah said, "Stamp your foot on the ground. This is a cool place to wash and drink." We treated him kindly and cured him. So we gave him his family back and an equal number of others with them, as a reminder for those gifted with understanding. Allah told him, "Take a handful of grass and strike your wife with it, so you don't break your oath." We found him to be patient. What a wonderful servant, so devout. And mention our servants Ibrahim, Ishaq, and Yaqub. They were strong men with insight. We chose them for the special task of reminding others of the abode of the hereafter. In our sight, they are the best of the chosen ones. And mention Ismail, Al-Yasa, and Dhul Kifl. They were the chosen ones. This is a brief reminder, and for those mindful of Allah, there will be a beautiful homecoming. The gardens of Eden opening its gates to them, and reclining there on sofas, asking for fruits of all kind and for drinks, and beside them spouses, modest in their glances and of equal age. This is what you are promised for the day of reckoning. This provision of ours will not end. This is for the righteous. The tyrants will have a most terrifying of homecomings, hell, where they will burn. What a dreadful resting place. Let them taste scalding water and pus, coupled with other similar torments. This here is another crowd rushing headlong with you into hell. No welcome for them. They will burn in the fire. The newcomers will say, "No, it is you. There is no welcome for you. You got us into this. What a dreadful place to stay." Then they will say, "Our Lord, whoever got us into this, double his punishment in the fire." And they will say, "What is happening to us? Why don't we see those men who we considered evil? We took them as a laughingstock, or did we overlook them?" That is how the people of the fire will quarrel among themselves. Say, "Messenger, I am a warner, and there is no God but Allah, the One, the Supreme, the Lord of the heavens and the earth, and whatever lies in between, the Almighty, the Forgiving." Say, "It's news of great importance which you reject. I have never had knowledge of the assembly on high when a dispute arose among them. The revelation to me is that I am a warner. Remember when your Lord said to the angels, 'I am creating a human being from clay. So once I have formed him and blown my spirit into him, prostrate before him.' So the angels prostrated altogether, except Iblis. He was arrogant and ungrateful. Allah said, 'Iblis, what stopped you from prostrating to the one I created with my hands? Were you arrogant then, or were you already from the haughty? Iblis said, I am better than him. You created me from fire, and you created him from clay. Allah said, get out of here. You are an outlaw. My curse will be on you till Judgment Day. Iblis said, my Lord, give me time till the day they are resurrected. Allah said, you have it, until the day of the appointed hour. Iblis said, I swear by your might, I will try to mislead them, except the devout servants of yours. Allah said, that's right, and I too speak the truth. I will fill hell with you, Iblis, and those that follow you. Say, Messenger, I don't ask you for any reward for this, nor am I claiming what I am not. This is a reminder for all people, and in due course you will know its truth. Surat Az-Zumar, the crowds. In the name of Allah, the kind, the caring. This book is revealed by Allah, the Almighty, the Wise. We reveal to you the book of the truth, so worship Allah sincerely with commitment. Take heed, sincere commitment should be for Allah alone. People who take protectors beside Him, claiming that we just worship them to achieve nearness to Allah, Allah will judge their disagreement. Allah will not guide the lying, thankless person. Had Allah wanted to take a son, He would have chosen from His creation as He pleased. Glory be to Him. He is Allah, the One, the Dominant. He created the heavens and the earth for a purpose. He merges the night into the day and the day into the night, and made the sun and the moon for a specific task, each floating in its orbit of a fixed time. Indeed, He is the Almighty, the Forgiving. He created you from a single being, then made from it its spouse, and gave you 8 pairs of livestock. He creates you in the wombs of your mothers, developing stage by stage inside 3 layers of darkness. That is Allah, your Lord, the absolute controller. He is the only God. What turns you away from Him? If you are unthankful, then Allah has no need of you. He is not pleased with the lack of acknowledgement from His servants. If you are thankful, He will be pleased with you. No one will carry the burden of another person. Then to your Lord you will be returned, and He shall tell you of what you did. He knows your innermost thoughts. When a person suffers a hardship, he calls his Lord devoutly. Then when he eases the suffering, he forgets that a short while before he had prayed to Him. And he sets up rivals with Allah, which misguide him from His path. Say, enjoy your thanklessness for a while. You are people of the fire. Can such a person be compared to the obedient, prostrating and standing during the night, fearful of the hereafter and hopeful of his Lord's kindness? Say, can those who know be equal to those who don't know? Only the understanding people pay attention. Say, my believing servants, be mindful of your Lord. Those who are righteous in this life will have goodness. Allah's earth is vast. He shall fully reward the patient without limits. Say, I have been commanded to worship Allah, sincerely committed to His religion, and I was ordered to be the first to submit. Say, if I disobey my Lord, I fear the punishment of a great day. Say, I worship Allah sincerely, committing myself to Him. So worship whoever you please beside Him. Say, the losers are those who lose themselves and their families on Judgment Day. That is a big loss. Smoke of fire above and smoke beneath them. With that, Allah frightens His servants. So my sincere servants, be fearful of me. Good news for those who avoid serving evil forces and turn genuinely to Allah. So give my servants good news. Those who listen attentively to what is said and follow the best of it. Allah has guided these and they're the understanding. The one who Allah has passed sentence against, how can you rescue him? He is already in the fire. But those who fear their Lord, they will have lofty apartments, luxuriously furnished, and streams flowing beneath them. This is Allah's promise. Allah doesn't break His promise. Don't you see that Allah sends rain from the sky? He lets it seep into the ground where it forms springs. Then with it, He produces plants of different colors that eventually wither away. So you see them turn yellow, and then He turns it back into soil. In this are lessons for the understanding people. So the one whose mind Allah opens with the light of Islam will have light from his Lord. But those whose minds are closed to the remembrance of Allah will be ruined. They are wholly misguided. Allah has sent down a beautiful set of teachings in a book that is consistent and frequently repeats itself, making the skin shiver of those who fear their Lord. Then their skin and hearts relax with the remembrance of Allah. That is Allah's guidance. He guides with it who He pleases. Whoever Allah allows to go astray will have no guide. So the one who must shield his face from the terrible punishment of Judgment Day, the evil, will be told, "Taste what you have earned." Others before them also disbelieved, and they were unaware of where the punishment came from. So Allah made them taste humiliation in this worldly life, and the punishment of the hereafter is even greater, if only they knew. In this majestic Quran, we give examples for people of all kinds so they pay attention, to an Arabic Quran, free from any defect, so they may be mindful of Allah. Allah gives this example. Can a servant devoted to many masters who are at odds with each other be the same as the one who is devoted to only one master? All the praises belong to Allah. Unfortunately, most don't know. You shall die. So shall they die. Then on Judgment Day you will argue with one another near your Lord.
Our channel. Please remember us in your du'as. If you enjoy listening to this translation of the Holy Quran, please consider subscribing and sharing our efforts with everyone and anyone. May Allah accept this effort of ours as sadaqah for us and our loved ones, and make it a means of our success in this life and the Akhira. Ameen. Summa Ameen.